Hi, my name is Alex and I welcome you to today's video. In Torchlight 3, the colorful fantasy world of Novastria must once again be saved from an invasion of the Netherrealm. After the second game was released on Nintendo's hybrid console last year, the latest entry of the Diablo competitor also makes it to the Switch with a little delay. After a difficult early access start on Steam, the question now arises how the Switch adaptation is performing. Either alone or with up to 4 players in online co-op, you can go into battle against hordes of monsters. A local co-op multiplayer is currently not available. These battles take place in rather hose-like levels, which leads to a very linear game flow. Unfortunately, individual level components repeat themselves relatively quickly. The same applies to the variety of enemies. At least the game lets the player beat the hordes of enemies at a fun and fast pace, though that often makes you lose track of things. Character diversity is probably the biggest strength of Torchlight 3. 4 different character classes are available to the player. The Dusk Mage, who fights with light and shadow spells, the Sharpshooter, who uses ammo as a resource and is similar to the Demon Hunter from Diablo 3, and most interesting to me is the Railmaster, who is equipped with a hammer and lets a train drive behind him. The train can be supplemented with different wagons and weapons, which can trigger a special function at the push of a button. Last but not least, there's the Forged. This robot fights with heat attacks and relies on the cannon in its chest. Each class can be upgraded with skill points earned after level ups. Up to a maximum level of 60 you can earn 70 skill points. Unfortunately, the skill system is rather rudimentary in its implementation, which makes it much more beginner friendly. Therefore, the character development is quite limited, offers hardly any passive improvements and is not comparable to games like Path of Exile. Every character has an animal companion. These computer-controlled companions can be used as a storage for unnecessary items. Additionally, there's the possibility to create your own fort. In this fort you can place heaps of decorative items and a few crafting items. Because of missing functionality and some glitches, the fort falls short of expectations. Torchlight 3 offers 5 difficulty levels, of which the first 3 are way too easy. The low difficulty level is mainly due to the fact that you can dodge most attacks from slow enemies while you're still doing massive damage. As always, it's important how the game runs on the Switch. Exact data about frame rate and resolution are not available, but as soon as we have them we will provide them. Due to the weaker hardware, the game does not look as good as on other consoles. A visibly lower resolution and less details are compensated by the typical comic art style. I couldn't notice any major frame drops during my 15 hours of playing time. Furthermore, it was not yet possible for me to test any online components. So let's come to a conclusion. You can see Torchlight 3's difficult course of development. After all, Torchlight Frontiers, which was once planned as an MMO, was rewritten into the third part of the main series and then released into early access way too early during development. Many game elements give the feeling of being remnants of the MMO and don't really seem to fit. Interesting ideas like the fort remain immature or just seem unnecessary. Also, the repetition of enemies and design elements suggests a too hectic release. Only the nice art style, the interesting classes and the fun gameplay can compensate for these shortcomings. The Switch port is rock solid and did not feel inferior. Also, the control with the controller felt very good. The playing time of 20 to 25 hours is suitable for this kind of game. In the end, the price of 40 euros is too high, especially if you can get the much better second part for half the price. You should definitely go for the latter. For these reasons I rate Torchlight 3 for the Nintendo Switch a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. If you liked it, we would be very happy about a like and a subscription. Or if you're interested in getting early access to our future reviews, feel free to visit our Patreon page.
Quest complete!
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.